40 minutes. That's about how long Jacob Berquist was in the Boise Town Square Mall before he fired his first shot, killing his first victim in Monday's mass shooting. This afternoon, Boise police released a more detailed account of the minutes-long shooting spree. In it, they say mall security video shows the shooter walking around the mall for at least 40 minutes, even eating at the food court on the second floor, all while wearing a backpack and carrying a handgun on his hip, which is not illegal in Idaho, but it is not allowed in the Boise Town Square Mall, which is why just before 1:50 in the afternoon, when police got their first call about shots being fired at the mall, Joe Acker, a mall security guard, approached the 27-year-old suspect. The video shows the two spoke briefly, then Berquist began to walk away. He then turned back toward Acker and shot her with a 9mm semi-automatic he was carrying. The 26-year-old died where she fell, near the entrance to Macys. Macys is where the shooter walked next, while just walking, continuing to fire his gun. One bullet went through one man's jacket, the report says, while his wife tried to pull him away. More shots were fired toward some kids who were down a hallway. None of them were hurt. As he walked into Macys, the shooter fired several more shots toward 49-year-old Roberto Padilla Arguelles, who was on the escalator inside the store. Arguelles was hit and was later pronounced dead. Two other women were hit in the store as the shooter continued to fire into the floor. Those bullets were just bouncing around. Both were treated and released, now recovering from their injuries. We also know the shooter then left Macys and ran from the mall towards Dave & Buster's, about a quarter mile away. Police say he shot toward an officer on a motorcycle who laid down his bike and hid behind it. One of those bullets, shot in that sequence, we are told, hit a woman driving an SUV on Milwaukee. Two other officers, who happened to be riding in a car together, drove toward the shooter, who is now behind Dave & Buster's. Police say Berquist fired at the patrol car coming toward him. A bullet went through the patrol car window and hit the officer who was driving in the brim of his hat. That's how close he was to getting hit in the head. That officer, an 11-year law enforcement veteran, we're told, was cut by metal and glass, broken glass, but he continued driving and shooting at the suspect as he did. Police tell us Berquist then ran behind a dumpster, where they say they heard one more shot fired. All of this new information is still preliminary, we're told, meaning it still has to be confirmed by the Critical Incident Task Force investigation. The woman who was hit in the SUV has since been released from the hospital and is expected to be okay. The reason this happened is still being investigated, still a big part of the investigation, including, police say, whether any of the victims were intentionally targeted. They acknowledge the suspect's history with law enforcement and mall security, his behavior and his beliefs, which he shared on social media. However, they remind us none of his actions at that time were considered criminal under Idaho law. They say there were no actionable specific threats made by the shooter, so there was no reason to arrest him prior to the mall shooting on Monday. More details and explanation to come either before or at the conclusion of this investigation.